By now, you've likely heard about Samsung's Galaxy Fold, a near $2,000 foldable smartphone set to hit the market in April. Or maybe the Royal Flex Pi, the oddly named foldable that made its debut at CES 2019 that I featured in my Coolest Tech at CES video. And if you've been paying closer attention, you've seen the Huawei Mate X, which made its debut at Mobile World Congress just like a week ago. It's only March right now, but 2019 is already shaping up to be quite a year for smartphones, specifically these foldable smartphones. But what's the deal? Is this a technological trend that will catch on? Are there tangible benefits to a smartphone that folds? Is current software ready for this type of hardware? Let's dive in. There are so many companies hopping on this foldable smartphone bandwagon. We've got Royal, we've got Samsung, we've got Huawei, we've got Xiaomi, we've got Oppo, we've got TCL, and Motorola have all either announced, shown off, or are rumored to be doing a foldable smartphone. Right now, there are sort of two designs for these foldable smartphones. There's the inward fold, like a book, where the display is on the inside, and then there's the outward fold, where the display is on the outside, back here. Both of those folds occur on the y-axis. So when you unfold the device, the two smaller screens, either on the inside or on the outside, unfold to make one larger screen, which effectively gives you a two-in-one device, a smartphone that unfolds into a tablet. It's worth noting that there's the potential to have 4 displays on these types of foldable smartphones, on the back, and then on the inside. Notice that the back of the Galaxy Fold doesn't have a display, but the back of the Mate X is a display, and the outside of the device, when unfolded, makes the larger screen. Whereas the Fold, the inside has the displays. I hope you understand the difference. There's also the approach that Xiaomi is taking, which has 2 folding mechanisms, but this thing looks more like a prototype than it does an actual finished product. Oppo, another Chinese manufacturer, showed off its foldable smartphone, which looks very similar to the Huawei Mate X. Make no mistake, these foldable smartphones are the evolution of the smartphone as we've come to know it. Remember when flip phones were super popular and Motorola sold 130 million Razrs in a 4-year span? People clearly like the folding phone design. There is something there. And speaking of Razr, I made a video about the company's plans to do a foldable smartphone that we were supposed to see last month, but that never happened. Motorola still plans on doing its foldable smartphone, but it's likely that we'll see it happen this summer. It's difficult to say which design will reign supreme. The inward fold, like the book, the outward fold where the displays are on the outside, or this clamshell approach that Motorola is taking. I'd argue that we've reached peak traditional smartphone design, the monolithic glass slab. And it's worth noting that these foldable phones marks a new experimental phase of smartphone design. 2019 is Gen 1 for foldable smartphones. And because we're in Generation 1, manufacturers have a long way to go before they realize the potential of these devices. Consider this. No one has been able to touch the Galaxy Fold. It was in a glass case when Samsung showed it off. The Verge got an exclusive look at TCL's prototype lineup of foldable phones, but Vlad wasn't allowed to touch anything. Why? Well, for one, these foldable phones are not finished. And 2, these displays are not glass, they're plastic. Phones back in the day were traditionally made out of plastic, and then companies like Samsung and Apple led the charge by gluing or laminating the LCD to a sheet of glass. I'd wager most, if not all, of the foldable smartphones that I've talked about in this video are gonna have plastic displays, and it's not because the technology isn't there. I think it's safe to say that we're finally moving away from smartphones with non-flexible glass. We're stopping at this plastic junction, and then we're moving to bendy glass foldable smartphones. Hear me out. Corning, who manufactures the glass that's in your smartphone that you're probably watching this video on, is working on really, really flexible glass. And they've been working on this really flexible glass. I came across this video on Corning's YouTube channel. It's about the glass era that we're in right now. It's hosted by the Mythbusters. It's a really good video. I recommend watching it. But the takeaway here is this demonstration of flexible glass. And this video was uploaded to YouTube in 2014. That's almost 5 years ago. The argument that the tech isn't ready, this plastic versus glass thing, that argument is just invalid. Companies are going with plastic first because it's cheaper, and they want to see how the market responds to these $2,000 foldable smartphones. They need to prove that people will buy them before they spend millions and billions of dollars producing foldable smartphones with glass displays. What's not ready from a technological perspective is the software. For years, developers have been innovating and wrestling with what a mobile operating system should look like and how they should function. Apple, for all 12 versions of iOS, has stuck to this static grid of app icons. We're gonna need software that's leaps and bounds better than this for foldable smartphones. So what good are the foldable smartphones that are coming out this year? What are the actual practical use cases for a phone that folds like a hot dog bun? Depends on how you use your device. Media consumption is probably the most obvious example that comes to mind. Let's say you're on the toilet and you want to pass some time. You open up the YouTube app, you scroll through the vertical stack of videos, you tap a video you want to watch, and then boom, you unfold your smartphone and you have a huge display giving you the pooping entertainment that you deserve. Quick and easy access to more screen real estate in this new mobile form factor might be attractive enough for early adopters. But I think companies definitely have their work cut out for them to design software for this hardware so that the masses adopt it in the next couple of years. I want to emphasize again that this is the dawn of a new era of smartphones. And let me be clear, this is just one application of a flexible or bendable display. LG is leading the way with its rollable television. This year is going to be one for the books in terms of smartphone design, and things are only going to get crazier. I am excited. If I had to pick one from the current lineup of foldable smartphones, I'd say the Huawei Mate X looks pretty awesome, but I'm definitely keeping my eye out for the resurrection of the Motorola Razr. Do you plan on buying a foldable smartphone? Do you think these phones will take off? Let me know in the comments. Only time can tell, but it's definitely an exciting space to watch. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more tech videos like this, and smash like if you learned something today. And I'll catch you in the next one.